In recent years, video games have continued to push boundaries, tackling darker and more realistic subject matters than ever before. But in 2023, one particular mission in a tactical shooter sparked a wave of controversy unlike anything the genre had ever seen. This is the story of the Elephant Level in Ready or Not. And real quick before we get started, I just want to say thank you for watching. We cover stories like this a lot on this channel, whether it's gaming controversies, strange events, conspiracy theories, or stuff of the like. If any of that interests you, then consider subscribing, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. I also do want to put a real quick content warning on this video. We are going to cover topics that might be very heavy to some viewers, so if school shootings or anything of the like is sensitive to you, then you may want to consider sitting this one out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So for those of you unfamiliar with Ready or Not, it is a realistic SWAT-based tactical shooter developed by Void Interactive. The game focuses on methodical gameplay, clearing rooms, rescuing hostages, and making split-second life or death decisions, and it prides itself on the realism. And that realism is exactly what got it into trouble in the first place. The Elephant mission places players inside a modern high school doing an active shooter situation. The objective is to neutralize the attackers and rescue civilians before more lives are lost. The environment is disturbingly authentic: classrooms, lockers, alarms blaring, and students hiding under desks. For most players who played the level, it was intense, but for some, it crossed a line. School shootings aren't a distant historical event. They aren't the same as video games about the Vietnam War or World War II that happened, decades before most of these players were born. They're modern tragedies that have deeply affected real communities and real families. Critics argued that turning such a scenario into an interactive environment was insensitive, especially to survivors of the victims and their families. Some believed that it was exploitative, however, others believed that it was necessary. Supporters of the level argued that Ready or Not doesn't glorify violence. In fact, it actively discourages reckless behavior. Players are penalized for unnecessary force, the mission is tense, stressful, and sobering, and there's no dramatic soundtrack, no cinematic hero moments, just chaos, fear, and urgency. And I tend to agree. I believe that if you're going to show these things, you may as well show them in their full capacity. Displaying a watered-down version of what actually happens in real life does no service to the victims or anybody else involved. So if you're going to show it, I believe that it should be shown fully, and I believe that Void Interactive and Ready or Not did a very, very good job of that. Younger players in particular reported that the level felt overwhelming, with some describing feelings of anxiety while playing it, and others felt it was too close to real-world events that they had grown up seeing on the news. In a time when lockdown drills were part of everyday school life, the line between fiction and reality felt thinner than ever to some players. The controversy reignited a broader debate. Should video games depict real-world tragedies, and if they do, where is the ethical boundary? Void Interactive defended their creative direction, stating that the game aims to portray the harsh realities that law enforcement faces, not sensationalize them. They did not remove the mission, but discussions around it continued across social media, gaming forums, and news outlets. Some players praised the studio for refusing to censor the difficult subject matter, and others believe that certain scenarios should remain outside of the realm of entertainment. And that brings us to a larger question. Video games for decades have depicted war, terrorism, and crime, but when the setting mirrors something that continues to affect children and families in the present day, the emotional weight changes. The Elephant mission wasn't controversial because it was violent, it was controversial because it was familiar. And as gaming continues to evolve and become increasingly more realistic, these debates are likely only beginning. And so that's the story of one of the most controversial missions in modern gaming, not because of what it showed, but because of what it reminded people of. So let me know what you think. Was it a bold attempt at realism or a step too far? I'll give you my thoughts in just a second. So now after all that, what do I think of the Ready or Not mission? Well, personally, I believe that Void Interactive does its job. I think that if you're going to put out a piece of content that displays a real-world tragedy like a school shooting, I don't think you should pull your punches, and Void Interactive doesn't. I think that if you're going to show events like this, you should show them in their full capacity to make people really feel the weight of what's going on. Because the thing is, if you show a watered down version of what actually happens, that really just minimizes the tragedy of it all. And so I think that Void Interactive, by choosing to show this, I don't think they were in the wrong, personally. I think that they showed it in its full capacity, and yeah, the reason why it's so controversial is because people felt the weight of what was going on. They saw the violence, they saw what was happening, and it bothered them. And that's a good thing. events like this should bother you, and the fact that Void Interactive did not pull their punches when making this level makes me very, very happy, because again, if you're going to show events like this, something as tragic and as horrible and as awful as a school shooting, you should absolutely show it in its full capacity. And yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. My apologies for the heavy subject matter of the video, but I felt like it deserved to be talked about. This video has been making the rounds on the internet for some time now, and again, it's been a hot topic of debate for a while, so I figured I might as well give my 2 cents. And if you did stay this long, you're a real one, and I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching. It means the world. We do stuff like this on the channel every single week, and I apologize if I stuttered a bunch in this video and sound kind of dead. I'm recording this very late at night, so I'm ready to get to sleep. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, I hope you'll stick around to see some of the other stuff that we have planned. We have some videos out right now that if you enjoyed this one, you'll probably enjoy those as well. But again, I'm a small channel, so if you would consider subscribing, that would be great. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Again, if you did enjoy, just subscribe and stick around, and yeah, I appreciate you staying this long. Not really sure how to close this out, but I will see you guys in the next one. God bless.